Welcome to English Stories by Manvi Sharma, where simple stories create powerful lessons. Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today I am going to share a powerful and inspiring story about failure, persistence, and the courage to try again. Today's explainer explores a story called The Rejected Dream. It is a story that reminds us that failure is not the end of success. Sometimes it is where success truly begins. Part 1. The Rejected Dream. So, there was once a young man named Aman, and Aman had this remarkably big, ambitious, and hopeful dream. He didn't just want a regular 9-to-5 job. He wanted to become a highly successful entrepreneur. His ultimate goal? To build a life-changing company, one that would truly make a difference in the world. But right from the start, he faced a massive hurdle. Nobody believed in him. Right after graduating from college, Aman didn't just sit around. He launched his first business with absolute, uncontainable excitement. I mean, he confidently invested all his savings, down to the absolute last penny, and worked day and night without a single complaint. In his incredibly hopeful mind, he imagined customers just lining up around the block, practically begging to buy his product. He was completely fueled by the joy of his dream. Part 2. The weight of failure. But slowly, that initial excitement just faded. The harsh, heavy realities of actually running a new business started to crush his optimism. The journey was definitely not going to be as smooth as he had so vividly imagined in his head. Months passed by, and the business earned almost nothing. Those eager customers he imagined, well, they were simply not interested. Meanwhile, the operational bills just kept piling up, day after day. Soon, the crushing reality hit him like a ton of bricks. Aman had absolutely no money left. Finally, with a really heavy heart, he had to make the incredibly painful decision to close the business down. His first, beautiful dream had completely failed. And to make matters even worse, people definitely noticed his defeat. Many of them openly laughed at him. Some of his own relatives even looked right at him and coldly said, "Get a normal job. Business is not for you." Those words carried such a profound, heavy, emotional weight. They literally pierced right through whatever remaining confidence he had left and hurt him so deeply. For weeks, Aman felt desperately disappointed and completely isolated. Every single morning, he'd wake up and just question himself in the quiet of his room. He kept thinking, maybe those mocking relatives were right. Maybe he just wasn't good enough. He genuinely started to wonder if success was simply meant for other people and not for him. You can really feel the immense weight of his loneliness in this super dark chapter of his life. Which brings us to part 3, a lesson in the park. But then this subtle, really beautiful shift happens. One evening, while taking a walk alone in a quiet park, trying to gently clear his heavy mind, he saw something that would change his entire perspective forever. He spotted a small child learning how to ride a bicycle. Aman carefully watched as the kid fell down almost immediately after pushing off. But within minutes, the child stood right back up. Then he fell again and again. But the amazing thing, the child never stopped trying. After many relentless, sometimes painful attempts, over the course of a few hours, the child finally balanced and rode the bicycle completely successfully. Aman stood there watching, and for the first time in weeks, he smiled. At that exact moment, he had an absolutely life-changing realization. Nobody learns to ride a bicycle without falling. Then why should success be different? Part 4. The courage to try again. That simple, profound question literally changed everything for him. That very night, a fierce spark returned to Aman's eyes. He made a firm, unshakable decision right then and there. He was going to try again. He was absolutely not going to let his first fall keep him on the ground forever. But this time, he didn't just rely on blind excitement. He took a totally new approach. He carefully studied his past mistakes. He diligently went out and learned new, necessary skills. He actually listened to real customer feedback instead of just imagining what people might want, and he significantly improved his product based on that reality. But you know what the most important change was? He completely stopped fearing failure. And a year later, armed with these powerful new tools, he launched a second business. Now, I'll be honest, at first, progress was pretty slow. But unlike before, Aman completely refused to quit. He had adopted this resilient new mindset, treating problems as lessons instead of insurmountable obstacles. Whenever a hurdle topped up, he confidently learned from it rather than retreating. And because of this positive energy and relentless drive, customers slowly started noticing his excellent work. Orders started to increase, his team grew, and eventually, all that focused dedication really paid off, and the company became solidly profitable. Part 5, The Secret of Success. Fast forward a few years later, and Aman had actually become one of the most respected, grounded, and successful entrepreneurs in his entire city. This wasn't some sudden stroke of luck either. It was deeply earned through pure perseverance. And because of this remarkable turnaround, people constantly asked him the exact same question. They really wanted to know his secret. They would earnestly ask him, "What is the secret of your success?" And Aman always gave the same incredibly humble answer. He'd say, "My success started with my failure." People often looked super surprised when he said this, so he would patiently explain it a bit further. "My first business taught me lessons that success never could. If I had not failed, I would never have learned how to succeed." Take a second to really reflect on that deep wisdom. Part 6, The Final Lesson. Aman's calm, powerful words have gone on to inspire thousands of young dreamers. Because through his own incredible story, they realized a fundamental, deeply inspiring truth about the entire journey to achievement. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is often the first step toward success. Every successful person has failed at some point. Failure does not mean the end of your journey. It means you are learning, growing, and getting closer to success. Never let failure stop you from trying again. So I want to leave you with this one question to reflect on today. What is a past failure of yours that you are going to turn into your very next success story?